In their luxury chocolate shop in an affluent neighbourhood in Cairo, the Bartour family sells chocolates emblazoned with the face of the man they hope will become Egypt's next president, General Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Shop owner Sharif hopes the military leader will reach the stature of a previous national hero, Gamal Abdel Nasser, who died in 1970.
This is our President Nasser, and the small guy, it's the Sisi, when he was very young.
Bartour, who used to work in Cairo's now decimated tourism industry, says Egyptians are sick of political instability and the economic upheaval that has come with it. He hopes General Sisi will be a strong enough leader to end the ongoing political and social crisis. Egypt's interim government took office after the military, led by General Sisi, ousted democratically elected President Mohamed Morsi in July. Subsequent crackdowns reportedly left more than 1,000 protesters dead and at least 2,000 were jailed. Despite the crackdown, there's been an upsurge of pro-military feeling in Cairo and a renewed taste for political strongmen. Rights groups say this is being carefully choreographed through campaigns in the state and private media. Heba Murayev is Egypt Director for Human Rights Watch.
I think the problem now is that obviously since the military is in control, is calling most of the shots in Egypt, that's also then allowed them to, through heavy-handed military propaganda, frame themselves as the only reliable, strong, consistent voice in Egypt today.
In an office across town, leaders of the group Complete Your Favour are collecting 40 million signatures calling for General Sisi to run for president. They supported the military action in August, clearing the protest camps of supporters of Mr. Morsi and his Muslim Brotherhood, despite numerous casualties. Spokesman Abdel Nabi Absatar.
It was not a peaceful sit-in, it was an armed sit-in. The Brotherhood tried to alter and forge the image to the extent that they brought buried corpses to suggest and give the illusion to the Western or international media that the victims are numerous.
Still, the Brotherhood continues its protests, despite being banned in an Egyptian court earlier this week. In a Cairo suburb last week, several thousand Brotherhood supporters voiced their continued anger at the ouster of their president and the killings of fellow protesters.
And there are those voices who are calling for an exclusion of the Brotherhood and of political Islam as a fundamental threat to the Egyptian state, and they then justify that by using the discourse of terrorism to say that the Brotherhood are terrorists and therefore should be excluded completely. And I think that's incredibly dangerous and very destabilizing.
General Sisi says he has no ambitions to run for president, and aides say he'll only do so if the Egyptian people demand it. In the current climate, those demands seem to be growing. Patrick Wells, VOA News, Cairo, Egypt.